Hello, welcome back, my degenerate family. I love you guys. Thank you for coming back, tuning in. Let's get into some picks. I'm not going to waste your time. Today's going to be super easy. Actually, it should be a pretty quick video, to be honest with you. I'm going to go over the preseason week 2 picks, as well as the season-long prop picks. So, if you're new to the channel, guys, usually I'm doing once a week. I do plan on making it twice a week, and the schedule is most likely going to be Mondays for picks, Wednesdays for more like fantasy props, things like that. So just so you guys can kind of start getting on a schedule here, I will start planning some more things coming out as we need to. But like I said, don't want to waste your time, so let's get into the picks. Preseason week 2, we got 3 matchups that give us a pretty nice edge. So number 1, Titans at Falcons. This is probably my clear-cut favorite just because of the win rates. You have a coach in the Titans with 100% win rate. Now, last year was Callahan's first year as coach, so like I kind of always assume these first-year head coaches really try to get out with their best foot forward. They try to win in the preseason. They try to get a lot of buy-in. It's a good opportunity to do that, right? To get buy-in from not just your players, but your coaches, the staff, all that kind of stuff. So he did. He went out. He balled out. They won all 3. Didn't mean a damn thing for the regular season, obviously, but they won all 3. It's a perfect 100% win rate in the preseason with the Falcons. Raheem Morris, absolute difference. Also, a young coach, didn't give 2 shits about preseason football. Did not win a single game in preseason last year. Turned out okay as far as the regular season goes. Not where they wanted to be, I'm sure, but he has literally 0 wins in the preseason, so 0% win rate. So easy pick there. Titans to beat the Falcons. Now, I apologize because as far as I can tell, really don't have lines on these games. So I'm just giving you like a money line pick. As the numbers come out, as we get just a little bit closer, it's really right around the corner. If you don't know, the Hall of Fame game is in about 22 days, I think, at this point. So pretty close. So by that time, by the end of July, very early August, you should have these lines, and we can maybe come back and revisit it if we need to. But right now, Titans to beat the Falcons week 2 of preseason. Then we have Chargers and Rams. Again, very similar issue here as far as like who's trying, who's not. 58% win rate with the Chargers and Harbaugh versus the Rams and Sean McVay, who just, again, can't really be bothered with preseason. And I gotta say, like, these guys who are not giving a shit about preseason, they have a good track record. I mean, the Falcons didn't give a shit. They had a decent enough season for a young coach. Playing with one arm tied behind his back because Kirk Cousins could barely walk. The Rams and Sean McVay, they make the playoffs. They almost beat the Eagles. And then, actually, the Eagles are the next team that don't give a shit. So, I'm not knocking it, but it gives us an edge. So, 58% win rate versus a 38% win rate. One thing that we do need to look out for is the Rams using a different coach. So last year, Sean McVay, they won the first preseason game, I believe it was against the Cowboys on like a last-second touchdown, and it was really unexpected. I'm positive I lost money on that because I usually bet against them, but whatever, it happens, and it was just, hey, they happened to be close enough where both teams just really didn't give a shit, and they pulled out the win. But in week 2, McVay actually had one of his coordinators do the coaching for that week, and that coordinator, it's a chance to kind of get his name out there a little bit, and typically when that happens, those teams actually try because that coach is actually trying, and he wants to get a win, and he wants to put some things on tape just in case he gets an interview or something comes up. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure that it is, in fact, Sean McVay that's going to actually be coaching this. If we get a word that, hey, he's not going to be doing it, it's another coach, something, I'm totally off of this. So just heads up for that. The last one as far as preseason goes is the Browns and Eagles. Like I said, the Eagles, another team that just do not care about the preseason at all. In the week 1 picks, they were part of the under for that reason, or their game in particular was an under. Just for that exact reason. They're not really going to be putting a whole lot of effort into trying to win these games. And again, why would you? You just won the Super Bowl. Like, there's not really a whole lot of emphasis on the preseason at this point. So, you know who your team is. So Browns and Eagles. The Browns, again, they don't really have a great win record in the preseason. It's a 30% win record. But I will say, even though that they're not winning, their games are typically more competitive. A lot of their games come down to the last drive or so. And actually, in the last, I believe, 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, or no, I'm sorry, last 2 years for sure, because they're 0-2. In the last preseason game, they've lost both of them, but both of those games have been shootouts. They've gone over 30 points in both of those games. So the whole point of me saying all this is it's not that they're not trying, but they just happen to be running into other teams that are also trying. They're running into good teams who are, trying to work out some roster spots, things like that. And they just happen to, like last year they played the Patriots. Patriots were trying out their guys. They just happen to get kind of a bad luck of teams that they're playing against in the preseason. And so in this year, they get to play the Eagles. So again, if they're still trying, Eagles still aren't trying, I'm definitely going to go with the Browns as far as the side. Now, another thing to look at is your quarterback room. Obviously, the Browns have a mess back there. They don't really have one particular guy that we're like, oh yeah, this is going to for sure work out. Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, Sanders, right? I'm not saying any of those guys are great, but as far as preseason is concerned, yeah, I'll take them. If they do one quarter each, I'm totally cool with that. Or if they want to switch that up, whoever wants to do that, I'm fine with any of these guys playing in preseason because they are going to be better than 90% of your average backup quarterback in the NFL. Right, or in the preseason specifically. As far as the Eagles are concerned, I'm almost positive they're not playing Jalen Hurts in this game. If they do, it should be for a quarter or less, if that. And that's like worst case scenario. If he plays for a quarter, most likely you're going to be looking at Tanner McKee, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and Kyle McCord. DTR has some wheels on him, so he can definitely make a difference. He can scramble around a little bit back there. Tanner McKee, okay. I mean, he's replacement level at best, backup. Kyle McCord is a rookie out of Syracuse. I did watch some film because I've been fucked with these rookies before, where they're like, oh damn, they can actually come in and ball out. Maybe long shot for Kyle McCord. Arm looks okay, average, maybe a little on the sub-average side. In college, he could move around a little bit, but nothing fantastic. Not like, oh my god, Lamar Jackson's coming in here. So again, just overall quarterback room, edge to the Browns for sure. Overall trying, definitely edge to the Browns, and the entire coaching staff really. So as far as preseason only, obviously, right? Like I'm not gonna knock Nick Sirianni for anything. So those are the 3 picks for week 2 of the preseason. I'm giving you these picks, guys, pretty early, obviously, right? Like it's not even middle of July yet. But I'm giving them to you now because when they come out, I want whoever wants to get on these to be able to hop on them at the best line, because these are picks that are going to obviously move as we get closer to preseason. And in the preseason, that 1 point, those half points really become important, especially if the line is actually 1 or 1.5. Only because a lot of these teams, again, they're not really super trying. They're not putting a whole lot of effort into this. Really what they're trying to do is get the hell out of here, without any overtime, without any additional plays. They just want to try to kind of fill out that back end of the roster, see who they're going to keep. Really just talent evaluation more than anything else. And even at that, a lot of times they don't even want to do that because now they're getting these joint practices. So it is really, truly like, okay, just nobody get hurt and let's get the hell out of here. So just, again, full transparency, but those are the picks for week 2.